are quite wrong.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon, morning. Most have had a great weekend. I'm still working on drafting the second part of my recommendation letter to Dr. But get your take on the first draft of the beginning section while I work on the rest. I'm currently drafting a section discussing my career after college and how Dr. Najd's guidance helped me during this time, as well as my decision to leave my career and how that ties in with Dr. Najd. Below is what I have so far, and if you both have the time, I would love to hear any feedback here. Thanks in advance. Oh, pleasure, 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 pleasure. Okay, so that's interesting that she said the effect on her career after, which is kind of cool. Wow, wow, long first part, yeah, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, it's nice that she, you know, that she's really honoring his request and giving back. But that is Beena, do you want me to just read it because you're busy, right?
Yeah.
To whom it may concern, I had the pleasure of studying under Dr. Nizam Najd at State University from 2010, while I pursued a Bachelor of Science in Management Information Systems. At this time, I attended Dr. Najd's operation course in the fall of 2008, followed by managerial decision in Philippines, sort of my honors college thesis in the fall of 2010, granting certification.
Sorry, Sil, you're very soft.
Oh yeah. Hold on, it's because I'm not using this mic, so because I was what do I need to do here? So okay, hold on, hold on. I'll mute myself. Yeah, and come on. Okay, you hear me now, Beena? Oh, but I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Why am I not hearing you?
Yes, now it's clear.
Yeah. Beena, you there? Yeah, I'm not hearing you for some reason. All right, hold on. Go ahead, Beena.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now I am. Say again, please. Hello, Beena.
Oh, yes, I can hear you clearly.
Oh, that's not that.
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah. I was not checking how I hear you, but all right. Okay, so plan to insert a sentence here, but I could tell within the first few lectures of operation management that Dr. Najd was different, but haven't worked on the wording yet. So I feel that, before she says this introduction, to make a bold statement that Dr. Najd influenced her profoundly. Because this is all, it's kind of, okay, it's pro forma, it's standard. Our pleasure studying under him, this university, this time, Bachelor of Science, blah, 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 blah. The whole paragraph is, if you're reading recommendation letters, you're going to see this in every single letter. And it's like, oh, all right, I've read this now, I don't know how many times, right? So you're not grabbing the person's attention. So, oh, just another standard letter. Okay. I mean, it is standard and that's good, but also it doesn't necessarily make you read more. So I would absolutely highly recommend here that to whom it may concern, to say something like, Dr. Najd profoundly influenced my career and or me as a person, and therefore my career. Just, and then maybe whatever, and then go just that, and then as a standalone sentence. So what I'm going to do here, Beena, is I'm going to copy all of this and then do do how we do with this normally, where I put it in the reply and then add my comments in square brackets, right?
Yeah.
And in square brackets and italics. So
So basic drawing for July, but now I will add more because it is just one thing in there, and so okay, that's good. While we were doing this, I got this. Normally the way Erica has started, it will not grab any attention. You're right.
right, and this is the thing. It's not about her letter in itself. It is about helping Dr. Naj. If somebody doesn't really read her letter with attention, they're not going to see what she says. They're in that, just another pro forma boring letter. Um, I'm just giving a recommendation here. Like, Dr. Naj profoundly influenced my development as a person and my career. But I don't want to say career relative to the subject matter. You see what I mean?
Mm.
I'll just say as a professional. I mean, she can adapt this, my professional. Okay. So, all right. That let me put that in italics, and I'll put my comments in square brackets. Then Erica can clearly see what the difference is here. Okay. So, hmm,
Mm.
Okay, I adapted that first sentence. Dr. Najd profoundly influenced my development as a person and my career as a professional, way beyond his excellent classroom material teaching. So he's saying both. He influenced, he was good in the classroom because you've got to assume that whoever's reviewing him is going to be concerned that he is doing the job he's employed for. Okay, he's doing extra. All right. So you got to say both, right? Which is what he did, right? Right, Beena? Where you?
Yeah. Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So after that, that first paragraph, the next one
Okay.
is operations management has a solid foundation in mathematics, a subject in which I had little natural ability or interest at the time of my enrollment. But, and then,
Mm.
but, I was going to say add a comma there. All right, I'll just put it in. Maybe she'll copy paste from this. But Dr. Naish's unique approach to teaching and his genuine interest in the lifelong success of his students began to challenge the way I thought about mathematics and my ability to face and overcome challenges. The way I thought about, I would think, imagine here, it wasn't just about mathematics, but way I thought about mathematics and thinking in general. I'll put it in brackets there.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And thinking in general, and my ability to face and overcome challenges. The way I thought about mathematics and thinking in general, instead of another and as well as.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm going to read
Sure,
something and then
sure.
I'll be here. This is good.
All right, Beena. Dr. Nash is very skilled at taking the core concepts found within course material and making them applicable to a student's life from a big picture perspective. He often said that the concepts we learned in his class were life skills, useful well beyond the context of the classroom and college. And I have absolutely found this to be true. Yeah, I would add a little bit extra emphasis there, you know, to say this has made a massive real difference. It's not just a truism, but something very real and applicable, Uh, all right, one moment. I'll be back in a second also. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm back, Beena. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. You there, gorgeous face? All right. Are you there, Beena? Oh. Dr. Nash often acknowledged the complexity and difficulty of the material being taught in managerial decision theory. Often acknowledged the complexity of the. Okay. And encouraged each of his students to continue pressing onward by stressing the importance of practicing appropriate decision theory over one's ability to quickly reach a correct answer. I know this needs a emphasis.
Okay, I'm back.
Ah, so the second paragraph is where were we? Well, I just go from after that first one. While operations management was required for my degree, I elected to attend Dr. Nice's managerial decision theory course the following year, which was being held several days a week on a separate campus an hour's drive away. I knew the curriculum would be even more challenging than the previous course, but I was eager to continue studying under his mentorship.
Mhm.
And then I added in here, as his teaching methodology had so much more to it than just the curricula. To say exactly why you wanted to do extra, my comment to Erica. Then she had, so I arranged, I left out the so, delete the so. I arranged my other classes and shifts at work to accommodate the extra time spent in travel uh, um, in order to attend. Maybe I can add that in here. So. Okay. And then she had a long paragraph. I made a new paragraph. Too many really long paragraphs. You got to break them up. Dr. Najd often acknowledged the complexity and difficulty of the material being taught in managerial decision theory, and encouraged each of his students to continue pressing onward by stressing the importance of practicing appropriate decision theory over one's ability to quickly reach a correct answer. And then I added in here just a reason why, again, to emphasize the importance of this. This made a massive difference, this emphasis, right? Or this emphasis made a massive difference. But again, to emphasize that this wasn't trivial, this was a big deal. Rather than grading tests solely on the answers at which, this is Eric again, rather than grading tests solely on the answers at which we may or may not eventually arrive, he encouraged us to write out our thought processes along with the path we took towards a solution, and would include those efforts in his grading system. And then I added, suggesting here, another transformative process of his. Again, you're emphasizing, that this is unusual, different. This approach freed me from the pressure I felt throughout much of my academic career to quickly reach a predetermined correct answer and correct answer to a complex problem, and instead enabled me to explore and experiment, to get the wrong answer and sometimes not reach an answer at all before running out of time, but to keep practicing. And then I would say again, yeah, a massively valuable habit, right? Something like that, yeah?
Yes.
Fantastically, I already used massively. Fantastically useful and valuable habits and mind shift. Okay. Another of my mentors later shared with me their definition of practice as, implementation despite reservation, which I believe requires a certain amount of courage and self-trust one often reaches only when given an opportunity to experience persistent improvement despite failure in a supportive environment. Dr. Najd created just such a supportive academic environment that which I'll just do the strike through on that. Come on. And add in which encourage diligence, scrupulousness, thinking outside of the box, and considering all perspectives and resources available. Fantastic, Erica J. He gave his students the freedom to make mistakes and put forward wrong answers, as long as they were making a sincere effort to work towards improvement and mastery, rather than reaching a correct answer through shortcuts and carelessness. I want to say something about also, emphasizing the ability to come to a wrong answer, and not to be overly concerned about this. It unhooks you from the ego stress, unhooking us from the ego stress of failure in the process, as a side bonus, right? Something like that. Yeah.
Yes, but but in the corporate sector and people who are into this learning business and managing skills, this might not be really a great idea to say that, okay,
Yeah.
it's how
Yeah.
it will go and all that.
Well, I'm saying this. Okay. Unhooking us from
Because
the undue fear of, I'm just going to say, looking bad in the process rather than failure. Yeah. I agree. And I'll put looking bad in inverted commas. Looking bad in the process. Yeah, I imagine, Erica Jane will take this and adjust and amend, and it's just to stimulate ideas. Okay, there it is. Well, that's the whole thing there. So, okay, so let's just give a commentary on the whole of it. This is most excellent, Erica. Why is this here?
Really,
Oh gosh, my typing here. What's you doing, sweetheart?
drawing.
Drawing. Oh, brilliant, 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 brilliant. All right. I'm just adding here. This is most excellent, Erica. My only thought is to emphasize what's so remarkable a bit more. It's obvious to you and us, to you and us, but likely not so to others, and therefore needs that extra repeat emphasis. My thinking is that this isn't a reply to Dr. Nash, even though he asked for it, but to prospective employees evaluating him for more than what he was doing or currently doing, right? Um,
Mm.
okay, so saying there, thus also, I feel it appropriate to emphasize how much Dr. Nash was doing above and beyond and how sophisticated and long term his efforts were.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's remarkable what he was doing. Uh,
Mm.
okay. To make it clear that what he does slash did is remarkable and amazing. Oh, okay. I just said. Looking forward to seeing the rest. Also, of course, feel free to ignore my suggestions. That's all they are. Your letter is absolutely fine as it is. Just me being fiddly and perhaps adding fiddly moreness. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. So our right side, our right brain controls uh, calculations, analytical mind. Yes,
No,
and
no,
left
no,
side.
no. Other way around.
Okay.
Yeah. The right brain controls the left side of the body. So that's the where the confusion comes in. You see, we tend to think of
Mm-hmm.
our right hand side as the dominant side, the controlling side, the calculating side, but that's left brain.
Mm-hmm.
See, so think of it that way, because the brain flips around for whatever reason, does that. So
Okay. So if I have something tilted toward right side, like any image,
that's creativity, yeah, and emotions and stuff like that. Yeah,
because I'm deliberately want to do this.
you want to shift to your right brain.
Yeah. Activating. Kind of activation needed there.
You want to activate your right brain. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Erika's had a good career, and I'll mention it to her in the follow up. I do feel that also to mention that, to say that she's had a successful career, particularly being a woman in a man's field. And I think her last job, she was the only woman in that particular field. And it is, his efforts, this way of thinking, is one of the major reasons for that. It led to many consequences, like being diligent and persevering and not giving up and not being inhibited by her ignorance and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or not knowing, stuff like that. So I'll mention that in the next one. There's a consequential knock-on effect, but I meant to say that, her career and her attributing it to this shift of thinking and doing, and essentially the beginnings of impeccability. She's saying, "Look, I had a good career because of it. It wasn't just theoretical stuff. It really works. You see,
Mm.
right?"
Yes.
To say, because somebody could say, "Well, okay, this is good, but so what? All right, it's interesting what he was doing, but how does this make a difference? Uh,
Mm.
it's just all theory or whatever. You may have personally changed." But when she says, "Oh, well, yes, and the proof of the pudding lies in that I had a successful career in a field which is not my natural interest necessarily, but I was able to do it because of his teaching
Mm.
more
Yes.
than the classroom content." To keep emphasizing that point, that he went above the content. Yes, he used it, but this wasn't her. She ended up in a career and did well, despite not having particular passion for it. But that was because she was able to, because of what his influence. Right?
Mm.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Very cool. Very very cool. Again, when we get in something like this, be very clear what it is that we are doing. You are looking to. This is a letter of recommendation, and it is about emphasizing what made a difference and why, and substantiating why, right?
Mm. Mm. Yes.
So this is a very important thing. This is a very important thing.
Yes.
All right. So Erica paid 1,000.
Mm-hmm. It is good.
Oh,
Okay.
and
And
then
Robin's.
and then Robin. Oh, Robin, is it done now, or she? Oh, she did two of them. Yeah, yeah. So Robin also is done, because she said
Okay.
you paid this twice. Right, right. She paid 500, 500. So yeah, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, because I transferred the 1,000. So all right. So that's helpful. So now I have to finish. I wasn't able to do the Venmo for Sue, but I'll see a little later today. I think it has, everything hasn't finished clearing yet. So
Mm.
let's go there right now and see. I'm just gonna stop share so I can see what I'm doing on my account here. So I want to send the thing to Sue to be finished with that, and it wouldn't let me send it, because I guess because of the new year, everything left over until Monday. So just a mess. So, Oh, excuse me one moment, Beena. I'll be back in a second. All right, Beena Magic. All right. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, see, it still says processing all these things, so I have to wait a little bit. I'll try it. I'll try it to Sue, but we'll see. You know, it says available balance, but Venmo didn't let me do it. I'll try again. Try again. Somebody paid Sherry. It's not Sherry. Sure. Marchman, some
Mhm.
family member of her, and they said Robux for CJ. Anyway, so it's a public transaction. You know, you can have them all be public or private. Anyway, so I just clicked a heart on that,
Mhm.
which lets her know I know she got some extra money in. So, yeah, you know, since somebody they didn't mark it private, so, all right, a little subtle thing there, but so 2 0. Oh, I can't remember the exact amount every time, and I want to. Dang it. Oh, all right. It is 8656.
So I'm busy in my drawing, so just tell me when you are.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm keen to see it, Beena.
This is something like deliberate activation uh, kind of thing. I'm doing it on purpose.
Doing activation, you say?
Yeah. And of course, it is something that's coming into my mind that do this, do this, do this, and I'm doing. I'm just following it through.
Oh, good, Beena. Good, good. So now you're doing July, which is what the focus on July? What is its focus?
I'm not actually following progress. Uh, it's not how my mind works. So what I'm doing is whatever is coming into my mind, I'm just doing that instead of. But yes, the activation uh, is something deliberate because she shared that um, triangles are her activation. So,
Okay, so it's all about activation. That's what you're saying? It's breaking up a bit. That's what I'm not sure.
yes.
Ah, okay. Cool, Beena. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so I'm done with that. Um, did that person who was advertising the course say anything different?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
I mean, did they just say, okay, invite you to my self improvement course? That's it? No more than that?
Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
I was a bit, of course, upset with. Like you got 138 comments on that.
Yeah.
It is not good.
No, but I mean, that's why I'm curious. Like, what did she say that was so attractive?
No,
Say
just
again?
simply said that okay, I have the group
Just
and
that? Who wants to join
and
my group? That's it?
yes, yes.
Wow. That's astonishing. But I mean, what did she call the group? She must have said something to call the group, not just okay,
No,
self
no,
growth group.
no,
What?
nothing. No, no, like not mentioned. Who wants to join? And that was it. And then like, wow. And the people were just saying that me. Yeah, like what you are doing here.
Exactly. It's a bit irritating. That's why I'm curious about the wording. You know.
This was the most simplest post. Just on like write it down to like two sentences. That, okay, I have started a group about self growth and self development. Who wants to join? That's it.
Hmm. I'll look in the removed post and look for the exact wording. I'm curious if there
Okay,
was some clue there. You know what I mean?
okay, yeah, definitely. Because I was not like, oh, what is this? So I didn't pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, there is a benefit for us, Bina. If there's that
mhm,
much of that response, uh, you know,
mhm,
if we make a similar post, I have a feeling there's this implication of it being a more private focused group. See, so that sets us up well for the private group, right?
mhm, yeah.
So, for me, just if I look at it from an attunement anomaly point of view, to say, maybe there's a little more, involved, right?
Mm.
So there's a positive to it, yeah?
कौन कौन क्या हुआ खाना को मम्मी बुला रही है अच्छा वो तो पता ही नहीं था खराब अच्छा तो वहाँ तो कुछ नहीं है पता नहीं होगा तो सारे साथी के लिए खाने में उनको बता दूंगी उनको हाँ उनको नहीं बता हाँ कह देते वरना हाँ यहाँ भी बता दूंगा अगर झूठ बोलना हाँ बता चुके हैं क्या है क्या हुआ तो क्या हो रहा है बैठी है जा रही है लेना है वो बैठे बाजू में जाती है बुलाने मैंने बुला दिया था तबीयत खराब हो गई थी उसकी है किसने बुलाया अच्छा यही हमने बुला दिया और उनको पता भी नहीं कि तबीयत खराब शर्म नहीं आती अपनी बेटे को भी टीका बनवा देती है तो पूछने था किसी ने बताया नहीं उसने पूछने का मसला थोड़ी है उसी पे है मुझे जब से यही है तुम्हारे वाले पे हाँ ये मैं उस पे देख 8 रुपए अच्छा मेरा Hello.
I'm here, Beena.
Okay, so I thought that you would tell me something more about it. I was waiting
But more about what, Beena?
about the letter.
That
Is it
was it.
done?
Yes, done. I sent it. That was it. That was the end of it. Where we were. Sorry.
So okay. So you are like taking care of groups and seeing. Have you
Yeah.
seen
That's
that
what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm,
one?
I haven't yet. I'm just catching up on my timeline a little bit. Ryan posted a thing with the deaths. He's commenting on somebody else's post, some whoever, and it says deaths in 2020 were lower than in 2019. So it's like, well, what this COVID thing is a big hoax, of course, or whatever. But he's just repeating what somebody else is saying. So I was just curious. I want to go to the official site and see what it is. You know, uh, it's just astonishing. I don't think they have the official statistics for 2020 yet. Uh, that's probably what they've done. They've taken the deaths for 2020 so far. They won't have the deaths for December and that yet, or November even. So now you're comparing 2019 complete to 2020 incomplete. Yeah, for the past 8 weeks or more are still being processed, and the data for December is yet to come. Right. So there's 3 months that are missing. You see. And they saying, yeah, 73,000 more people have died in 2020 than in all of 2019. More people have died. Yeah. So, if this comes up, I want to mention to Ryan that they have to be really careful. I don't want to comment on it when it comes
Yeah.
to looking at things. That's an inaccurate representation. You have to go deeper, and Ryan gets himself into trouble all the time because of this.
Mm.
I'm tempted to just, yeah, I'm reading all usafacts.org, and tempted to just put the link there. Check this out. But I don't want to, because it's propaganda, it's whatever. I wanted to say, pay attention. whoever's claiming to have death statistics for 2020, it doesn't. Those statistics typically lag, so yes, they do keep track of death, disease related, but in the overall, this is a big thing to come in, and so you can't be comparing. If they want to compare overall deaths, which include non-COVID, then you are going to have to wait, and when they finally pass all of that together, uh, it's what the deaths get attributed to. You have to look at the overall, because and that's hard to determine, and you have to wait, because a lot of people will die, and some local or country doctor who doesn't know, they just, okay, they died of a fever, they died of pneumonia. It's pneumonia or COVID.
Mhm.
Unless you do the test, you don't know. See? So, and
Mm.
that takes a long time to get through. That's why the 2-year delay usually. So if you're comparing now, you can't say, But if you want to now say people are
Um,
not dying from COVID, well, then I don't know what to say to that.
I'm really upset with this denial. I understand that wearing mask is something. I don't agree with that because they are taking really stupid measures in terms of like, okay, wearing mask outside the restaurant. In the restaurant, you can sit and eat. So there are some stupid things, yes,
Right,
but it doesn't mean that this whole COVID thing is not deadly and it's not here, and you don't need to do anything about that. Come
right,
on.
right,
I'm really super upset because I'm just
right,
having this and only I had it myself.
right,
And now someone's trying to convince me
right,
for something else.
right. Right, Ryan. Just so everyone knows, one of my God-given abilities is sniffing out bullshit. Lol. Well, Ryan, if this guy is claiming American deaths in 2020 with COVID is 2,835, he says it's less even. Uh, the whole thing smacks of bullshit. It's a Maj Tour at Maj Tour, and it's his statistics, not any source, no claim to say where the statistics are coming from, and just sucked out of the thumb. It's astonishing. It's a saying. So the first comment is there are no accurate numbers for 2020 on 12/31/20, and he says the title of the post is "COVID is bullshit." You understand the
Hmm.
point of this post, right? It's called "COVID is bullshit" post. Like it or not, I don't care. Can't change my mind. Oh, that's pretty close.
No, don't do that. Don't change your mind.
No, Ryan is saying, like it or not, I don't care. Can't change my mind. He's completely closed to anything. So,
No.
this Sandy, the person who said there are no accurate numbers for 2020, she gives a AP News. U.S. deaths in 2020 top 3 million, by far the most ever counted. And he just says bullshit. Based on what? It's not what you think it is. Deception to the highest degree, and you fell for it. Just wait and
Saying,
see. The truth always prevails. Yeah,
well, don't
yeah.
make any comment.
No, I'm not
Don't
making
make
any
any
comment.
comment
I'm
there.
just, I'm just preparing to talk in general about what is the basis for the belief. Ryan has come to believe something,
Well,
and then he shuts down to anything that disproves his belief. But what's the root of your belief? In this case, it's somebody else's opinion based on what? Yeah, yeah,
they're looking for something to do. That's it. They just want to let their frustration out and argue with people over this nonsense argument.
right.
They want to engage people in that. They just want to engage people in that. That's all.
Right.
Okay, God forbid. Like, I really don't want it. You will not understand till you personally live it. Of course, I really wish you good health and safety and all that. There's something you cannot understand. How horrible it is.
He's claiming these
Yes, I
statistics come from the CDC, but they don't. And also, all right. It's just ignorance, ignorance. Anyhow,
agree with him. It's really, really bothering. Sorry to say,
it
but
is. It's
it's
very
just
bothering.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was like, I simply said to Thomas that please don't say anything right now
No,
because
no,
I don't want to
no,
go
no,
in
no. I said,
detail.
Bina, you
No,
said now
I
three
said to.
times not to say something, and I want to just let you know I have no intention of saying something. Yeah,
No, I'm telling you about my thing. What I said to Thomas that please don't say anything right now because I'm dealing with it. I don't want to know any detail about that, how vaccines will not work and all that.
yeah, yeah.
Like, come on, like I'm dealing with my father's illness and you're saying that oh the vaccine and wax and all that. Come on, be sensible.
Why? Why?
But I simply refused and said, okay, I don't want to listen anything right now. Don't say anything, please.
Yeah, yeah.
And these people are getting horrible, sir. Really. Like Ryan, just right now, can't change my mind. Okay, go ahead. I want to. Don't try to push your agenda on us.
Right, right. It's amazing. Thing is, I want to really figure out how to deal with this kind of perverse denialism that is based on
Yeah.
so that I can figure out how to address it subtly in a roundabout way when you do have somebody's ear. Because we do have Ryan's ear. He does respect our opinions, but we can't bring it as an opinion. So I want to address it via methodology. See?
Yeah, I understand your point, sir.
Right. To say you've really got to pay attention and not get caught up in this and that and say, okay, how am I? All right. So now you're going to go by, CDC, because he quotes these CDC statistics, but he doesn't look at it really carefully. You've got to pay attention to be really careful and see what's actually there rather than what supports a pre-existing agenda, because that's the problem. You end up with confirmation bias, and then once you start digging a hole, it's hard to get out of. And that's what happens to Ryan. He jumps to conclusions, he trusts his beliefs and his ability to supposedly see bullshit or whatever, but it's not actually so. You just not really being thorough and careful and diligent, and that gets you into trouble. Rather than making bold opinions, just set it aside. And this is what gets you into trouble. You're
And
so eager to make these bold predictions. I know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. I
yes,
can say for sure. Let it be.
no, no, no one, no one.
Right. And at some point,
Yes, it could
if you're going to start
be a
quoting
conspiracy theory.
statistics,
Yes.
right? And if you're going to start quoting statistics, you better be well versed in statistics and understand how they work. For instance, when it comes to the total deaths figure, this is a delayed figure by 2 years typically. So stop quoting it. I mean, I understand how bureaucracy works. It takes time for the stuff to come through. So, well, furthermore, You don't believe it? You can do a bit of local research. Go to your hospitals, talk to doctors. Don't talk to one or two, talk to 10, 20, 30, 40 at least, because you need to spread. Go to funeral homes, right? Talk to people like Donna, who works in elder care, right? They're getting a massive increase in business. Well, because of COVID. Oh, come on, right? So, okay, you really believe the there's government people and that lying to you. Fine, that's that happens. Well,
Oh yes,
but
I agree with that.
but but
Yes, there might be something in that,
right.
but
Well,
you cannot deal with it like that. Oh, I'm not going to take it anything because it's a
right,
conspiracy theory. You have to deal with it. You are already in
right,
this war
right, right,
against the disease.
right. And the key point here is people in the government might lie, but they can't make everybody in the country lie. They can make some lie, well, and some they can corrupt in their thinking, which is, but not everyone. And you can't lie with the
But
reality on the ground. So where's those increases in deaths coming for Donna and her office, right?
and, and if they are doing that, then you are accepting that you are too late to jump into this fight with this strategy. Because if a government or any organization or anyone who is so much in power, so they can manipulate everyone,
Why?
everyone is working for
Why?
them. So sorry, dude,
Why?
too
Why?
late. You're too
Why?
late. Or
Exactly.
die.
Exactly.
Okay,
And then your the most sensible strategy one would be to keep your mouth shut and keep your head down. If they have that much power,
exactly,
then you sticking your head out and saying, I can see bullshit. I can call this. Well, at some point you're going to run afoul of the government. So you're not doing yourself any
exactly.
favors. So, but he
So
figures, well,
at one
you're on the side of them. So I guess.
No. So this is the point. Every single time they will say that, oh, they manipulate everything, they do this. If they are so much powerful, it means that
Right.
we are very much late in this war.
Right.
We don't have
Right.
anything on our
Right.
behalf. We don't
And
have anything in our
exactly.
control. So
Right.
okay,
Right. So
strategy is different.
right. So the very thing that you are believing is a result of them. Because, well, right now, who's in charge? You know, the people that you are accusing of manipulating everything. I don't know. It just the whole thing is a mess. It's just idiocy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And at some point people like him are going to get COVID. And then what? That's the other amazing thing. People want to deny it, but what? To me, it's amazing. I guess so. All the people that he knows, that I used to know somebody who's gotten COVID. You would think, but it's possible not. COVID only affects 1 in 100 people, roughly. Now, well, I think 1 in 100 that's even diagnosed, 1 in 1,000 in general, is a very low percentage. But when you are talking about a nationwide, such a percentage is a huge deal because 1% of 300 million is 3 million. See, is that right? Let's see, 300 million, 10% would be 30 million. Yeah. So that's why it's such a big deal, that, okay, only 1% are affected by it. But that 1% is a big number. And this they don't get. That means that you can know 99 people and not know anybody who has COVID. See? If you don't interact with all that many people,
Mhm.
it's quite possible that, or it's quite likely that, you're going to either interact with none or very few. So, okay, you obviously, most people know more than 99 or 100 people. But you could know, let's say, 500 people. And in that 500, is only maybe 2 or 3 or even none, because that's how statistic works, right? And so but then you say, yeah, well, that's just BS. I don't believe they really had COVID. They're just calling it, but meanwhile they just had flu. You can easily poo-poo it away. You don't have access to the bigger picture. So your local perceptions count nothing. It's like people who deny climate change. Well, it's not hotter here where I am. You can't notice a half a degree hotter. It may even be cooler in your specific local area. But globally, it's a half a degree warmer per year or per 10 years. It's a big long-term trend, so it's just ignorance. But anyway.
Mhm. Yeah. This whole argument is so bothering, annoying for me. I don't want to just be in that mood, but it really makes me.
Right. So
Uh,
I'll
really
I'll
bothered.
bide my time, and I'll see as we go along. I'll see if Ryan actually gets to do this, and we'll see how. That's why he probably hasn't started, because the whole program is about thinking things through to the end, and there's got to be some part of him that has to know, um,
Okay,
that.
you got a picture half
Got
done,
what? Got what?
a half done drawing.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Did you send me a picture? Is that what I got? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Beena. Wow, Beena. Wow. It looks like a sun in a shell or oyster.
Oyster
Pyramid around it.
with a pearl.
Wow. I like that triangle around it. That's very different, Beena. Wow. 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 Exciting stuff, Beena. Exciting stuff. Very cool. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just said what my first impression there was.
Oh, yes.
The bottom looked like a mattress to me. That the
So,
very, very first impression. Cushion. Very cool, man. Very cool. I want to see the other one. I haven't seen the other one next to it colored in. I haven't seen that yet, Bean.
oh, okay. So,
I'm going to remove this post. Would anyone? Ikigai is a Japanese formula for happiness. Would anybody like a post about it? So they say yes. I said just make the post, please. Somebody else said yes, make post. Why ask? Just post it. You know.
oh, they just want to create a hype. That's it.
He
This is
does
the way.
comment and respond. He's fairly good, that one, Jamie, is it Jamie Barkley? Yeah, Jamie Barkley.
Okay, so Georgian sent me a friend request.
Who sent what?
Georgian,
Georgian. Oh, good,
remember?
good. Yeah, oh, good, good. Took me a while to process.
Okay, I have sent you another one also.
I'll look in a moment. Somebody says why are my hands and fingers shaking? But they made another poster where they got really drunk and they were horrible to their mother, and I don't know, caused all sorts of drama. So I said, well, now you want to know why your hands and fingers are shaking? It's likely from your drinking, the consequences from your drinking. It's like, man, seriously. Wow, Beena. Wow. Wow, 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 Beena. This is June, right?
Yes, this
Yeah.
is true.
But I save them, then I can open them and look bigger. I think I have most of them. I'm not sure. I name them by the months, So, oh, I like the well, they're not apples. They loves. Love apples. They're hearts. And the book. What does the book say in it, Beena? I can't read. It says
Oh, just read.
Beena
Read it.
awareness, appreciative, or yeah.
Application.
Oh, application, appropriateness.
Application.
Is it appropriateness?
No, impeccability, life, moreness, love.
What's the first word under Beena?
Okay, it is awareness.
Oh, awareness, and then application. All right, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
then love.
Yeah, fantastic.
Second page, it is
Yeah,
impeccability,
yeah. I like your
life.
candle there. Is that a candle or is it a tree stump with a bud on it?
No, it's a candle.
Ah, because it could be a tree stump, and then, sometimes out of a tree
Oh,
stump, they grow the little shoot and it starts regrowing. Have you seen that?
yes.
And it could be your little love, art, fruit, that's growing from that tree. You got a bit of a yin yang going there.
Mm.
Yeah, more hearts, magical things. They look like fireflies in a way. I like the little thingy next door to it, whatever that is. It's really nice, Beena. I like all the little dots, little small hearty thingies, I don't know, they just add a lot to it. Ah, and the spiral is cool, Beena. And a letter, there's a letter there, see? To the
Yeah.
left below the spiral. Looks like an envelope, the back of
Yes.
an envelope.
Yes. Yes.
What's in there, Beena? What's in there? What's in there?
Definitely a good news.
Ah, good newsletter. Very good. I like in the circles on the right hand side. There's like advanced yin yang ones. A couple of plain ones, and then some super advanced ones. Moreness yin yang. Very cool, Beena. Very cool. Very cool. Ah, so fantastic, Beena. So fantastic. All right, let me continue going through the group here.
Okay, so this drawing is it's not about uh, neurocreative drawing, but personally, somehow my mind is so much tuned to that. So I am mm, making effort to make it mm, according to neurocreative drawing rules like rounding and connecting. This is something I'm just making an effort to do that in that way.
You are making the effort to do the rounding and the connecting.
Yeah, it is not like really recommended by because not everyone is doing that, but because my mind is tuned in that way right now,
Yeah.
so I'm making an effort to make it according to those rules or guidelines or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's the key. Because when you do focus on the rounding, the connecting, the smoothing, this is what is the part that enables you to integrate, shift, change, update, upgrade, etc. So yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yes. So Frauka suggests that if you want to like okay create a vision board type of thing, you can do this um, like by introducing something we are looking towards. So I've been thinking about that.
About making a vision board. Hmm. I
Yeah, so like
thought,
introducing something.
Beena, yeah, but to me, basically, these months are a vision board. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe I will introduce something, maybe some figure. That's okay. Uh, and maybe some names of particular things I want to do in my life. So let's see what will come up. Hmm?
You want to see what comes up? Is that what you
What do you
said?
think? Like, okay, deliberately introduce something in the picture, in the drawing,
Hmm.
and then see
Well,
how it it
this was
many.
what I understood from Frauke, was the whole point of it when she explained it. She said you're gonna draw
Yeah,
what you project, what you put out for the year, and you might not know what it is, but as the months go by, you're going to relook at what you were doing, to see what it is that you put in there and
yeah,
say,
but
oh, this was this. Yeah, so interesting. But you're looking to do
this
something
was
deliberate, right?
yeah. That is the difference. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I want to see that it
Ah,
it will
cool.
come.
Cool,
Yeah?
Mina. Cool, cool, cool. Very cool, Mina. Very cool. Very cool.
I want to introduce my wildest dreams. One of my wildest dreams, of because it is part of my personal myth also.
Mm,
Uh, that TED Talk, not TEDx, but TED Talk.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
that
cool.
was
Very
it
cool.
is.
And you need to get back on track with your scuba diving. It was now put off a bit because of the COVID and everything. But, so,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still do have uh, this boat in February, but it's a boat. It's not scuba diving, which I want to.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
a
will
what? Just a glass
introduce.
bottom boat? Or what?
Not a glass bottom boat, but remember in February I introduced that boat. It's a boat in my February hand drawing. Yeah, remember that? It's sail.
Ah,
Uh,
right, 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 right. Right. So let's go look at the activity log. I should have looked at the activity log before I was active. I have less scrolling. Beena said approved 16 members. Beena said approved 98 members. Wow.
Yeah.
Beena said blocked. Was that her name? Suzanne what a guy?
I don't know. I blocked two, I guess. Just have a look. If I
Well,
do,
okay,
then
you
see.
removed and blocked Zahadun. So which one was it? A woman or a? Oh, never
A
mind.
woman, a woman.
Okay, so that's
Rather, it's like
Suzanne. Yeah.
again that is snake drawing and all that.
No, this was one with something around a fork and
That was
the,
something.
the Zahadul.
Oh yeah, okay.
No,
So
that's
maybe
Python attacks. So no, that's not it either. So I guess you did more than just that.
these people, especially who share these videos, they don't do anything other than that. So it
Yeah,
is
I
good to
agree.
remove them immediately.
Okay, Jennifer Brown Inman's post. Let's see. Yeah, and you put it on post approval. Want to join a free? Oh no, this is the free 8-week wellness and health living challenge. Register to participate. Yeah. So okay, so she's
Other
not
one.
the one who's inviting to the group. I haven't seen that post yet. Ah, who would be interested in an online community focused on clearing all the stuff that is keeping healthy relationships away? Is this the one you're talking about, Beena?
That's why I say that I did few. So just check that is it the one
It
or
it
of check
doesn't it
all
doesn't it
stages.
doesn't say how many people responded to it. So that's why I'm asking which one. You don't remember which one it is? This one says, who would be interested in an
No.
online community focused on clearing all the stuff that is keeping healthy relationships away?
And is there any more?
That's it.
Okay, so then this would be. But it was about self-development something. I don't know.
Well, I'll keep going then.
One was about weight loss. One was about uh, self-growth, and yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I have just created a new Facebook group, Find Your Purpose. Free meditation and support.
Yes.
Who would like to join? See, Bina, that's why I asked you for the details. So this isn't just an
Mm,
invitation to a new group. It says free meditation and support. That's a
mm,
big difference, see? That's a group that's saying, okay, find
yes.
your purpose. All right, that's good. But it's free meditation and support. Who would like to join? So you see, that does make a difference, right?
Okay.
Pandora Boyle. Yeah. So one's got to look at the carefully at the posts, right? Yeah. When you say free meditation and support, there you go. It's free doing something, you see. So,
Mm,
but it's useful to see this, Bina, when it comes to us advertising our group, you see.
mm,
Yeah. I mean, that's the one you were referring to because you said it was a group. Oh, here's another one. I
mm,
created a group, weight loss support and encouragement. Make this your year. You see? Again, probably
yeah.
going to get a good number of support because it says weight loss support and encouragement, you see? So,
Mm,
but it wasn't this one that got all the lot. It was the previous one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So we should be up over, well over 100 by now. Let's go and see what we have. I like to know
Oh
where we
yes,
got
oh
for
yes.
the members, so that we don't go over the 300. I like to keep track of it.
Oh no, no, no.
Got to refresh
We
before I
are
check that number though. Always.
we are under 150.
Yeah, I just refreshed, so I'll tell you exactly where we're at now. Yeah, from the what you approved and I approved a few. 124 it says. It seems a little less than what we would expect, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do the pending posts, Beena.
Yes, yes. A bit less.
When people this content isn't available, I have a pre-written thing that I save in my sticky notes. I just copy and post it. Says we can't see the content and so on, because it's not public. I explain a little bit why it's being removed so that they can get a clue. Otherwise they never know. So there's a whole post just about toilet paper. What the hell? Oh, thermal rolls. No, no, it's not. They're selling labels. I can't body. Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna remove them, Beena. If they, if you selling stuff like that, there's no point in leaving somebody like this in the
It
group.
is no point.
I
No
mean,
point, sir.
I do feel okay. There is a point if you put them on post approval, they stay in the group and post the. Yeah, I'll just delete their thing. It's okay. I'll just decline it because they keep the numbers up, so there is a bit of a point.
But you said that okay, after 25 we will not keep anything.
I
So
do,
that's why I
but
was like,
I don't have to be that. You know, I have a bit of leeway on it, so um, because the numbers beget numbers, So, all right, they're on post approval. It's sort of a harmless thing. If they're doing something that's like if that were to be in the group, okay, it's for thermal labels or whatever. It's just somebody being a bit inappropriate. It's not negatively inappropriate like the spellcasters and the billionaire ones. You see what I mean? So it doesn't pull down the group. It's just silliness that you skip over, right?
just a minute, sir. Yes.
Sure, sure.
Hmm. You see? तो हम लोग 4 लोग होंगे तो 9 हो जाएगी. हाँ, हाँ, हम्म. हो सकती है. मैदान बना दो तो हो जाएगी. हाँ, और क्या? ऐसे नहीं. हाँ, ऐसे नहीं. Yeah, okay. Sorry, sir. I was saying.
It's okay. No, I'm just saying, there's sort of like, I don't know, there was a post about diarrhea and some health stuff. It's not for the group, but
I
again, I decline the post, but I don't want to kick them out of the group because, well, it's a number, and if they get a post that comes through, well, I'm not going to approve all their posts. If they want to stay and have all their posts are nice, then okay, there's no problem by me. They keep my numbers up in the meantime. Because it helps Facebook too. They see, oh, you got lots of members. The members are posting stuff, even though it gets declined. It's all engagement, so it does make a difference. I think, so I just go with it. But the ones that are destructive, that have negative stuff, like the spellcasters and those billionaire things and scammers, in other words, they might kick off. Yeah, if they like that one with the labels, usually I kick those off too. I don't know.
Uh, I just delete one money making post also, like it will make you
Yeah,
rich and all that.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't only delete the posts. I also remove the member. So
Well,
because
it's a
they're harmful. I mean, there's people who make inappropriate posts that aren't harmful, but people who are just outright selling stuff and that are so clueless. No. So I should have removed that person with the labels, I guess.
Hmm. So, yeah. Hmm. आपके मुंह पे फोन बंद हुआ? आपके मुंह पे फोन बंद हुआ? हाँ? चांसेस तो थे. चांसेस तो थे. आपको बर्दाश्त करती है, जब तक उसका आपसे मतलब रहता है ना, आप चाहे कुछ भी कर लो उसके बाद. अच्छा. मतलब including everyone. नहीं, everyone नहीं है. इसलिए इस महीने तो खुद ही काम नहीं किया.
मैंने जितनी की भी है सॉरी ये 100% की वजह से मैंने किसी को बता भी किया तो मैंने अपनी वजह से किया तो हम लोग नहीं हुआ ज़्यादातर लोग ज़्यादातर लोग
सुनना बहुत मुश्किल है। सुनना एक बहुत मुश्किल बात है, चाहे मुश्किल सच हो।
नहीं वो फिर पता ही होता है सुनने के बाद ये सब चीज़ सुननी होती है मुझे तो जो चीज़ कहते हैं अब मैं एक बात यकीन भी कर लेंगी कर दे आपका ऐसे भी वो चुन सकता अगर आप गायब हो जाए उस वक्त तक के लिए जब तक आपको दोबारा मतलब नहीं पड़े आपका उस वक्त तक ठंडा भी हो जाएगा है
Sumit posted a post, a link to
Yeah.
doing something with his daughter, but I took it out for the link.
Tell me when you have time for, and if you are interested in reading.
Hang on, Beena, I'm not hearing you. Hold on, say again, sweetness.
I was just saying that if you are interested in, or you have time, tell me when to start reading.
Oh yes, that's right. I knew there was something that we had to do right now, Beena. Yes. Yes, please, sweetness. I am most interested. Please, I want to hear. 3, 4, 5. All right. Hang on, though, Beena. Hang on. Let me.
Sorry, I've been quiet. My phone went and I've been trying to charge it. There's 3 hours. We'll be there for midnight. We'll be there. It's going to be emotional, all right, Nicole, yeah.
I want to just switch the headphones so that I'm ready for the session as well. So, and I'll hear you better. All right. Well, yeah. That's good. So a minute for me too while I switch the headphones. So I won't hear you, Beena. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, sweet Beena. I'm getting there, angel face. Okay, so putting this on mute. Beena? Beena? Sweetness? Okay. I'll switch to the headphone in a moment. Oh, it is on here already. Hey. Beena? Beena? You there, Beena? Yeah, I think it's breaking up a little bit. Ah, you are there. All right. Okay. While you're doing that, Beena, I'm going to disconnect this so I can do my hair.
भैया दे देंगे आपको दे देंगे ना
Hello, Beena.
भैया आपने शेखर को बता दिया कितने पैसे उनको नजर नहीं आता लोग ले लेते हैं पैसे हुआ क्या मारा था हमको seriously sorry I mean don't get any friends you know own house no we don't do that Arav हम अपने हमारे अपने घर में फ्रेंड्स ही नहीं बनती क्यों नहीं वो बात करें ना म्यूट कर ये आप तो वजह पूरी मूवी शोर हो जाए म्यूट करें ओके Okay, you here?
Yeah, one moment, Beena.
Okay.
finished doing monkey baboon business. So I was off the. I didn't put the headset on just yet.
Mhm.
Was do monkey baboon business. I need that. So all right, here we go. All right. You there, Beena? You there? You there?
Yes, 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 I'm here.
I'm listening, gorgeous Beena face.
Okay,
So
so,
I'm gonna sit over here
okay,
until until we do until Sue and Robin come, and then I'll
yes,
switch back. Then I turn the thing, then I have the green screen. I suppose I could
okay.
put up a green screen here behind me, maybe.
Mhm. Okay, so this book, the writer name is Aleph Shafak, The 40 Rules of Love, and it was
How's that spelled?
what? The 40 Rules of Love?
No, no, his name. Sorry,
Aleph,
Alef.
Elif, Aleph Shafak,
El. Hang on, spell his
If,
name again.
Elif.
Elif. Elif. Wow.
No, the pronunciation is Aleph.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
know Turkish pronunciation for that. So it is Aleph. And Shafak, Shafak, Aleph Shafak, and
Bloody
name
hell.
is, yeah. So the 40 Rules of Love, a gorgeous, jeweled, luxurious book, The Times,
Wow. Wow.
and it is still an international bestseller. And so shocking, exuberant, ambitious observer says that walks it heartbreaking, and praise for the Bester of Istanbul, a beautiful book, the finest I have read about Turkey. Irish Times says that. So it's a good review book, um,
Right.
and published by Penguin. The 40 Rules of Love, Aleph Shafak is an award-winning. Yeah, you were saying something?
No, Penguin is good. I like them.
Yeah, yeah.
They,
So Aleph Shafak is an award-winning novelist, and and the most widely read woman writer in Turkey. She was born in 1971 in Strasbourg, and the author of 10 books, 7 of which are novels, including The Bastard of Istanbul and The 40 Rules of Love. She writes in both English and Turkish, and divides her time between London and Istanbul. And that's it. Okay,
oh,
just to have a review. Um,
oh, very good.
okay, so the prologue. Between your fingers, you hold a stone and throw it into flowing water. The effect might not be easy to see. There will be a small ripple where the stone breaks the surface, and then splash, muffled by the rush of the surrounding river. That's all. Throw a stone into a lake. The effect will not only visible, but also far more lasting. The stone will disrupt the still water. A circle will form where the stone hit the water, and in a flash that circle will multiply into another, then another. Before long the ripple caused by one plop will expand until they can felt everywhere along the mirrored surface of the water.
Yes, Phil.
But this is how it is written. Only when the
Oh,
circles
wow.
reach only when the circles reach the shore will they stop and die out. If a stone hits a river, the river will treat it as yet another commotion in its already tumultuous coarse, tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Is it? Yeah,
Tumultuous.
tumultuous, coarse. Nothing unusual, nothing unmanageable. If a stone hits a lake, however, the lake will never be the same again. For 40 years, Ella Rubinstein, I think, yes, this is pronounced
Yeah,
Rubinst.
Rubinstein, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So for 40 years, Ella Rubinstein's life had consisted of still waters, a predictable sequence of habits, needs, and preferences. Though it was monotonous and ordinary in many ways, she had not found it tiresome. During the last 20 years, every wish she had, every person she befriended, and every decision she made was filtered through her marriage. Her husband, David, was a successful dentist who worked hard and made a lot of money. She had always known that they did not connect on any deep level, but connecting emotionally need not be a priority on a married couple's list. She thought, especially for a man and a woman who had been married for so long, there were more important things than,
More important things
than passion and love in a marriage, such as understanding, affection, compassion, and that most godlike act a person could perform, forgiveness. Love was secondary to any of these, unless, that is, one lived in novels or romantic movies, where the protagonists were always larger than,
protagonist.
yeah, always larger than life, in their love nothing short of legend. Ella's children topped her list of priorities. They had a beautiful daughter in college, Janet, and teenage twins, Orly and Evie. Also, they had a 12-year-old golden retriever, the Spirit, who had been Ella's walking buddy in the morning and her cheeriest companion ever since he'd been a puppy. Now he was old, overweight, completely deaf, and almost blind. The Spirit's time was coming, but Ella preferred to think he would go on forever. Then again, that was how she was. She never confronted the death of anything, be it a habit, a phase, or a marriage, even when the end stood right in front of her, plain and inevitable. The Rubinstein lived in Northampton, Massachusetts, in a large Victorian house that needed some renovation but still was splendid, with 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, shiny hardwood floor, a 3-car garage, French doors, and best of all, an outdoor jacuzzi. They had life insurance, car insurance, retirement plans, college saving plans, joint bank account, and in addition to the house they lived in, two enviable apartments, one in Boston, the other in Rhode Island. She and David had worked hard for all this.
Rhode Island, yeah.
Rhode Island. A big, busy house with children, elegant furniture, and the wafting scent of homemade pies might seem a cliche to some people,
Wafting scent, yeah. The wafts on the breeze. Yeah, it's a nice word, wafting.
but to them it was a picture of an ideal life. They had built their marriage around this shared vision and had attained most, if not all, of their dreams. On their last Valentine's Day, her husband had given her a heart-shaped diamond pendant and a card that read, "To my dear Ella." Read, "To my dear Ella, a woman with a quiet manner, a generous heart, and the patience of a saint. Thank you for accepting me as I am. Thank you for being my wife. Yours, David." Ella had never confessed this to David, but reading this card had felt like reading an obituary. This is what they will
Reading an
write.
obituary?
Yeah,
Wow. Well, that's
this is
interesting.
what. Yeah, this is what they will write were about me when I die, she had thought, and if they were sincere, they might also add this. Building her, it's a misprint here, so
Oh, interesting.
building her whole life around her husband and children. Ella lacked any survival. Oh, what is this?
Survival skills, probably.
No, so survival techniques to help
Ah,
her cope with life's hardship on her own. She was not the type to throw caution to their wind.
to the wind.
Even changing her daily coffee brand was a major effort, all of which is why no one, including Ella, could explain what was going on when she filed for divorce in the fall of 2008 after 20 years of marriage. But there was a
Ah,
reason. But there was a
there's a
reason.
reason.
Love.
Mm.
They did not have in the same city. They did not live in the same city, not on the same continent. The two of them were not only miles apart, but also as different as day and night. Their lifestyle were so dissimilar that it seems impossible for them to bear each other's presence.
Mm.
It's a bit loud for me.
What is?
Music.
Oh, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I turned you up, but I don't. That's surprising that it turned up my music. I don't think it would, because I didn't change the music. I just turned. You were a bit soft on the headset. I've turned the headset volume up. All right, but let me put the background sounds there. You probably don't hear it now, right?
No, it is very clear.
Oh, 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 oh.
It's a very beautiful lyrics. Very beautiful lyrics.
Ow! I can hardly hear it. I don't know how you hearing it. If I can hardly hear it.
They think that I have met someone and feel like that a homeless found a cozy home.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. How about now?
Okay, now it's good.
Do you still hear it now?
Okay, no,
Yes.
no.
No. Oh, but now you're not on the headset. Dang it. Hold on, Beena. Hold on. All right. How about now, Beena?
Okay, it is clear, but I'm not hearing any music, which is good for me.
All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. See, now I can hear it, but not the music. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I hear the music, but you don't. So, I figured
Yes.
out what it is. It's on the phone. I have to disable original sound, and that makes the my book play on the headset or not. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I figured it out. So, very good. Very good.
So
All right.
shall we
Great.
continue? Okay.
Yes. 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 Please. Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a reason, love. They did not live in the same city, not even on the same continent. The two of them were not only miles apart, but also as different as day and night. Their lifestyle was so dissimilar that it seemed impossible for them to bear each other's presence, never mind fall in love. But it happened, and it happened fast, so fast, in fact, that Ella had no time to realize what was happening and to be on guard. If one could ever be on guard against love,
Mm.
came to Ella as suddenly and brusquely as if a
Brusquely.
stone
Yeah. Brusquely. Yeah.
had been hurled from out of nowhere
Mm.
into the
Mm.
tranquil pond of her life.
Right. That's brusque, not brisk.
No, brusque.
BRU.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So brusquely is like when you brusque, you've got like a little bit of impatience almost, or not rudeness, but it's not quite even smooth, So that implies a little bit of roughness to it, brusquely, right? Yeah.
Like rushed in.
Like what?
Like rushed in.
It's not necessarily fast.
Mm-hmm.
It usually implies a bit of extra speed, but also implies that it's not so smooth. Brusque. If you brusque with somebody, you're not rude, but you're not rough either. But you're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of in that kind of business mode, and some people might be a bit pressed by it. You see?
Abrupt, offhand,
Mm.
or offhand in speech or manner. She could
Right,
be brusque and impatient. Okay.
right, right.
Mhm. If you describe a person or their behavior as brusque, you mean that they deal with things or say things quickly and shortly, so
Mm.
that they it seemed to be rude. The doctors are brusque and busy. Synonym: cut short,
Right,
sharp, blunt. Okay.
right. Exactly. But it's not that you're rushing. It's just short, sharp. No time to waste, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, uh, Northampton, May 17, 2008. Birds was Ella. The chapter name is Ella. Birds were singing outside her kitchen window on that balmy day in the spring. Afterwards, Ella replayed the scene in her mind through so many times that rather than a fragment from the past, it felt like an ongoing moment still happening somewhere out there in the universe. There they were, sitting around the table, having a late family lunch on a Saturday afternoon. Her husband was filling his plate with fried chicken legs, his favorite food. Evie was playing his knife and fork like drumsticks, while his twin, Orly, was trying to calculate how many bites of food she could eat.
Uh,
So, not
Wait a second. Sorry, Beena. His twin.
Orly.
Okay, TWIN, twin.
Yeah,
All right. And his twin is a girl, a woman, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted
Okay.
to check because the word didn't come through very clearly, so I just wanted to make sure because it's an important word, you know. Yeah.
Orly was trying to calculate how many bites of which food she could eat so as not to ruin her diet of 650 calories a day. Janet, who was a freshman at Mount Holyoke College nearby, seemed lost in her thoughts as she spread cream cheese on a regular slice of bread. Also at the table sat Aunt Esther, who had stopped by to drop off one of her famous marble cakes and then stayed on for lunch. Ella had a lot of work to do afterwards, but she was not ready to leave the table just yet. Lately, they didn't have too many shared family meals, and she saw this as a golden chance for everyone to reconnect. Esther, did Ella give you the good news? David asked suddenly. She found a great job. But Ella had graduated with a degree in English literature and loved fiction. She hadn't done much in the field after college, other than editing small pieces of for Women's Magazine, attending a few book clubs, and occasionally writing book reviews for some papers. That was all. There was a time when she'd aspired to become a prominent book critic,
Mm.
but then she simply accepted the fact that life had carried her elsewhere, turning her into an industrious housewife with three kids and endless domestic responsibilities.
We're talking about Ella or Esther?
No, Ella.
Oh,
So
oh.
David asked Esther that did Ella give you a good news? She got a job. So now they are telling about Ella. Yeah. Okay.
But Esther got the job or Ella got the job?
No, Ella got the job.
Oh, it sounded like Esther, but all right.
How you got this? I said David asked Esther, who was there for lunch, uh, coming to the, she came to their home like with her famous marble cake.
Right, right.
Asked her to stay for lunch, and now they were sitting. So David, her husband, Ella's husband, asked Esther that did Ella give you a good news? She got a job.
I thought it was him saying to Esther, "Did you give the good news? Did you share the good news?" Sorry, I wasn't clear on it. Sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit, so that's why it's a little difficult to hear me. Sounds like you're far from your laptop.
No, I'm not. I'm just sitting
What?
next to it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just
So not that she
not.
complained,
Okay.
being the mother, the wife, the dog walker, and the housekeeper kept her busy enough. She didn't have to be a breadwinner on top of all these. So now, though none of her feminist friends from Smith College approved of her choice, she was satisfied to be a stay-at-home mom and grateful that she and her husband could afford it. Besides, she had never abandoned her passion for books and still considered herself a voracious,
Yeah,
voracious.
voracious reader. Yeah, likely. That's what we're gonna say.
Okay. A few years ago, things had begun to change. The children were growing up, and they made it clear that they didn't need her as much as they once had. Realizing that she had too much time to spare and no one to spend it with, Ella had considered how it might be to find a job. David had encouraged her, but though they kept talking and talking about it, she rarely pursued the opportunities that came her way. And when she did, potential employers were always looking for someone younger or more experienced. Afraid of being rejected over and over, she had simply let the subject drop. Nevertheless, in May 2008, whatever obstacle had impeded her from finding a job, all
Impeded her.
sorry, impeded.
Impeded? Yeah, impeded.
Okay, impeded her from finding a job, all those years unexpectedly vanished. 2 weeks, 2 weeks shy of her 40th birthday, she found herself working for a literary agency based in Boston. It was her husband who found her the job through one of his clients, or perhaps through one of his mistress. Oh,
Mistresses. Wow.
yeah. Oh, it's no big deal.
Mm.
Ella rushed to explain now. I'm only a part-time reader for a literary agency agent. But David seemed determined not to let her think too little of her new job. Come on, tell
Mm.
them it's a well-known agency, he urged, mocking her. And when she refused to comply, he heartily agreed with himself. It's a prestigious place.
Mm.
Esther, you
Prestigious.
should
Yeah.
see the other assistants, girls and boys, fresh out of the best colleges. Ella is the only one going back to work after being a housewife for years now. Don't be modest. Ella wondered if deep inside her husband felt guilty about keeping her away from a career, or else about cheating on her.
Mm.
These being the only two explanations she could think of as to why he was now going overboard in his enthusiasm. Still smiling,
Well,
with
sorry. He could have another reason. He could be planning on leaving her, and he wants to make sure she's got a job, so he doesn't have to support her as much. Right?
still smiling, David. Yeah, maybe, but this is what she thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying she's missing something there.
Still smiling, David concluded, this is what I call chutzpah. What is this? CHU.
Chutzpah. chutzpah. It means kind of gumption. Yeah.
Okay. We are all proud of her. She is a
It's a
prize.
Yiddish word. Yeah.
Yeah. She is a prize, always was, said Aunt Esther in a voice so sentimental that it sounded as if Ella had left the table and was gone for good. They all gazed at her lovingly. Even Evie didn't make a cynical remark, and Orly for once seemed to care about something other than her looks. Ella forced herself to appreciate this moment of kindness, but she felt an overwhelming exhaustion that she had never experienced before. She secretly prayed for someone to change the subject. Janet, her older daughter, must have heard the prayer, for she suddenly chimed in, I have some good news too. All heads turned towards her, faces beaming with expectation. Scott and I have decided to get married, Janet announced. Oh, I know what you guys are going to say, that we haven't finished college yet and all that. But you have got to understand, we both feel ready for the next big move. An awkward silence descended upon the kitchen table as the warmth that had canopied them just a moment ago evaporated. Orly and Effie exchanged blank looks, and Aunt Esther froze with her hand tightened around a glass of apple juice. David put his fork aside as if he had no appetite left, and squinted at Janet with his light brown eyes that were deeply creased with the smile lines at the corners. However, right now he was anything but smiling. His mouth had drawn into a pout, as though he had just downed a swig of vinegar. Great, I expected you to share my happiness, but I get this cold treatment instead, Janet whined. You just said you were getting married, remarked David as if Janet didn't know what she had said and needed to be informed. Dad, I know it seems a bit too soon, but Scott proposed to me the other day and I have already said yes. But why? Asked Ella. From the way Janet looked at her, Ella reckoned that was not the kind of question her daughter had expected. She would rather have been asked when or how. In either case, it means that she could start shopping for her wedding dress. The question why was another matter altogether and had completely caught her off guard. Because I love him, I guess. Janet's tone was slightly condescending, condens, no, condescending. What is the word here?
Condescending,
Yeah.
looking down your nose at something,
Okay. Okay.
seeing something as less than, and coming from a superior position.
Okay. Okay. Was slightly condescending. Honey, what I meant was, why the rush? Insisted Ella. Are you pregnant or something? Aunt Esther twitched in her chair, her face stern, her, ang- her anguish visible. She took an antacid tablet from her pocket and started chewing on it. I'm going to be an uncle, Evie said, giggling. Ella had held Janet's hand and gave it a gentle squeeze. You can always tell us the truth. You know that, right? We'll stand by you no matter what. Mom, will you please stop that? Janet snapped as she pulled her hand away. This has nothing to do with pregnancy. You are embarrassing me. I was just trying to help. Ella responded calmly, calmness being a state she had been lately finding harder and harder to achieve. By insulting me, you mean? Apparently, the only way you can see Scott and me getting married is being knocked up.
Me being
Does
what?
knocked up? Does
Oh,
it ever
knocked up. Ah, Beena, are you sure you're on your headset, by the way?
exactly? Let
I just
me
realized. Yeah, check. Yeah.
check my sound setting. No, it is not on.
All right. All right. Good. Good. And there's a promise of improvement. Thank you, Beena.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot hear you, sir.
Oh, aren't you hearing me now? Give it a moment, Beena. Give it a moment.
I can't hear you. That's it.
Uh, yeah. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Or leave and come back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I hear you. I hear you. I hear
Okay.
you. I hear you. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is
You
it,
just had to wait. You just had to wait for it to update. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Very good. There we go.
is it clear now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I have to hear when you read. It's too soon to say from just that one.
So it was selected before. So now I'm just going in audio setting also to see that. There is a headset. Yeah, this is selected now. Speaker, microphone is also selected. Volume is very low. Okay.
I hear you better now.
Okay. Okay, let's start reading. Mom, will you please stop that? Janet snapped as she pulled her hand away. This has nothing to do with pregnancy. You are embarrassing me. I was just trying to help, Ella responded calmly, calmness being a state she had been lately finding harder and harder to achieve. By insulting me, you mean apparently the only way you can see me and Scott getting married is me being knocked off. Does it ever occur to you that I might, just might, want to marry this guy because I love him? We have been dating for 8 months now. This elicited a scoff from Ella. Oh, yeah, as if you could tell a man's character in 8 months. Your father and I have been married for almost 20 years, and even we can't claim to know everything about each other. 8 months is nothing in a relationship. It took God only 6 days to create the entire universe, said Evie, beaming. But cold stares from everyone at the table forced him back into silence. Sensing the escalating tension, David, his eyes fixed on his elder daughter, his brow furrowed. Furrowed. Yeah?
His profile what?
His brow.
Oh, his brow furrowed. Yeah.
Brow furrowed. Okay.
Mm.
In thought, interjected, honey, what your mom is trying to say is that dating is one thing, marrying is quite another. But Dad, did you think we would date forever? Janet asked. Drawing in a deep breath, Ella said, to be perfectly blunt, we were expecting you to grow out of it. You are too young to get involved in any serious relationship. You know what I'm thinking, Mom? Janet said in a voice so flat as to be unrecognizable. I'm thinking you are projecting your own fears onto me. But just, but just because you married so young and had a baby when you were my age, that doesn't mean I'm going to make the same mistake. Ella blushed crimson as if slapped in the face. From deep within, she remembered the difficult pregnancy that had resulted in Janet's premature birth as a baby, and then as a toddler, her daughter had drained all of her energy, which was why she had waited 6 years before getting pregnant again. Sweetheart, we were happy for you when you started dating Scott, David said cautiously, trying a different strategy. He's a nice guy, but who knows what you will be thinking after graduation? Things might be very different then. Janet gave a small nod that conveyed little more than wind. acquiescence, acquiescence,
Acquiescence. Acquiescence. Yeah.
acquiescence. Feigned. What is Feigned?
Yeah. Feigned. Feigned. Yeah. Yeah. Pretend. Yeah. Like a
Okay.
feint.
And then
You know, like a
feigned.
feint in sword. A feint in sword fighting.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You make as if you're going to, but you're not really. So
Yeah.
feigned is the same thing in just our
Okay.
behavior.
Okay. Yeah. Then feigned acquiescence. And then she said, "Is this because Scott isn't Jewish?" David rolled his eyes in disbelief. He had always taken pride in being an open-minded and cultured father, avoiding negative remarks about race, religion, or gender in the house. Janet, however, seemed relentless. Turning to her mother, she asked, "Can you look me in the eyes and tell me you'd still be making the same objections if Scott were a young Jewish man named Aaron?" Janet's voice needled with bitterness and sarcasm, and Ella feared there was more of that welling up inside her daughter. "Sweetheart, I'll be completely honest with you, even if you might not like it. I know how wonderful it is to be young and in love. Believe me, I do. But to get married to someone from a different background is a big gamble. And as your parents, we want to make sure you are doing the right thing. And how do you know your right thing is the right thing for me?" The question threw Ella off a little. She sighed and, and massaged her forehead, as if on the verge of migraine. "I love him, Mom. Does that mean anything to you? Do you remember that, the word, from somewhere? He makes my heart beat faster. I can't live without him." Ella had herself chuckle. It was not her intention to make fun of her daughter's feelings, not at all, but that was probably what her laughing to herself sounded like. For reasons unknown to her, she felt extremely nervous. She had fights with Janet's before, hundreds of them, but today it felt as though she were quarreling with something else, something bigger. "Mom, haven't you ever been in love?" Janet retorted, a hint of contempt creeping into her tone. "Oh, give me a break. Stop daydreaming and get real, will you? You are being so..." Ella's eyes darted toward the window, hunting for a dramatic word, until finally she came up with romantic. "What's wrong with being romantic?" Janet asked, sounding offended. Really, what was wrong with being romantic? Ella wondered, since she was so annoyed with romanticism, unable to answer the question, tugging in the edges of her mind. She continued all the same. "Come on, honey. Which century are you living in? Just get it in your head. Women don't marry the man they fall in love with. When push comes to shove, they choose the guy who will be a good father and a reliable husband. Love is only a sweet feeling bound to come and quickly go away." When she finished talking, Ella turned to her husband. David had clasped his hand in front of him, slowly, as if through water, and was looking at her like he'd never seen her before. "I know why you are doing this," Janet said. "You are jealous of my happiness and my youth. You want to make an unhappy housewife out of me. You want me to be you, Mom." Ella felt a strange, sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, as if she had a giant rock sitting there. Was she an unhappy housewife? A washed-up mom trapped in a failing marriage? Was this how her children saw her and her husband too? What about friends and neighbors? Suddenly she had the feeling that everyone around her secretly pitied her, and the suspicion was so painful that she gasped. "You should apologize to your mom," David said, turning to Janet with a frown on his face. "It's all right. I don't expect an apology," Ella said dejectedly. Janet gave her mother a mock leer. And just like that, she pushed back her chair, threw her napkin aside, and walked out of the kitchen. After a minute, Orly and Evie silently followed suit, either in an unusual act of solidarity with their elder sister or because they had gotten bored of all this adult talk. Aunt Esther left next, mumbling some poor excuses while chewing fiercely on her last antacid tablet. David and Ella remained at the table, an intense awkwardness hanging in the air between them. It pained Ella to have to face this void, which, as they both knew, had nothing to do with Janet or any of their children. David grabbed the fork he had put aside and inspected for a while. So, should I conclude that you didn't marry the man you loved? Oh, please, that's not what I meant. What is it you meant then? David said, still talking to the fork. I thought you were in love with me when we got married. I was in love with you, Ella said, but couldn't help adding, back then. So when did you stop loving me? David asked, deadpan. Ella looked at her husband in astonishment, like someone who had never seen her reflection before and now held a mirror to her face. Had she stopped loving him? It was a question she had never asked herself before. She wanted to respond, but lacked not so much as the will as the word. Deep inside, she knew it was the two of them they should be concerned about, not their children. But instead, they were doing what they both were best at, letting the days go by, the routine take over, and the time run its course of inevitable torpor. She started to cry, unable to hold back his continuing sadness that had, without her knowledge, become a part of who she was. David turned his anguished face away. They both knew he hated to see her cry, just as much as she hated to cry in front of him. Fortunately, the phone rang just then, saving them. David picked it up. Hello? Yes, she is here. Hold on, please. Ella pulled herself together and spoke up, doing her best to sound in good spirit. Yes, this is Ella. Hi, this is Michelle. Sorry to bother you over the weekend, chirped a young woman's voice. It's just that yesterday Steve wanted me to check in with you, and I simply forget. Did you have a chance to start working on the manuscript? Oh, Ella sighed, only now remembering the task awaiting her. Her first assignment to the literary at the literary agency was to read a novel by an unknown European author. She was then expected to write an extensive report on it. Tell me not to worry, I have already started reading, Ella lied. Ambitious and headstrong Michelle was the kind of a person she didn't want to upset on her first assignment. Oh, good, how is it? Ella paused, puzzled as to what to say. She didn't know anything about the manuscript except that it was a historical novel centered on the life of the famous mystic poet Rumi, who she learned was called the Shakespeare of the Islamic world. Oh, it's very mystical, Ella chuckled, hoping to cover with a joke. But Michelle was all business. Right, she said flatly. Listen, I think you need to get on this. It might take longer than you expect to write a report on a novel like that. There was a distant muttering on the phone as Michelle's voice trailed off. Ella imagined her juggling several tasks simultaneously, checking emails, reading a review on one of her authors, taking a bite from her tuna salad sandwich, and polishing her fingernail, all while talking on the phone. Are you still there? Michelle asked a minute later. Yes, I am. Good. Listen, it's crazy in here. I need to go. Just keep in mind, the deadline is in 3 weeks. I know, Ella said abruptly, trying to sound more determined. I'll make the deadline. The truth was, Ella wasn't sure she wanted to evaluate this manuscript at all. In the beginning, she had been so eager and confident. It had felt thrilling to be the first one to read an unpublished novel by an unknown author and to play, however a small role in his fate. But now she wasn't sure if she could concentrate on a subject as irrelevant to her life as Sufism, and a time as distant as the 13th century. Michelle must have detected her hesitation. Is there a problem? She asked. When no answer came, she grew insistent. Listen, you can confide in me. After a bit of silence, Ella decided to tell her the truth. It's just that I'm not sure I'm in the right state of mind these days to concentrate on a historical novel. I mean, I'm interested in Rumi and all that, but it's still, the subject is alien to me. Perhaps you could give me another novel. You know something I could more easily relate to? That's such a skewed approach, said Michelle. You think you can work better with books you know something about? Not at all. Just because you live in this state, you can't expect to edit only novels that take place in Massachusetts, right? That's not what I meant, Ella said, and immediately realized she had uttered the same sentence too many times. This afternoon, she glanced at her husband to see if he too had noticed this. But David's expression was hard to decipher. Most of the time, we have to read books that have nothing to do with our lives. It's part of our job. Just this week, I finished working on a book by an Iranian woman who used to operate a brothel in Tehran and had to flee the country. Should I have told her to send the manuscript to an Iranian agency instead? No, of course not, Ella mumbled, feeling silly and small. Isn't connecting people to distant land and cultures one of the strengths of good literature? Sure it is. Listen, forget what I said. You'll have a report on your desk before the deadline, Ella conceded. Hating Michelle for treating her as if she were the dullest person alive and hating herself for allowing this to happen. Wonderful. That's the spirit, Michelle concluded in her sing-song's voice. Don't get me wrong, but I think you should bear in mind that there are dozens of people out there who would love to have your job, and most of them are almost half your age. That will keep you motivated. When Ella hung up on the phone, she found David watching her, his face solemn and reserved. He seemed to be waiting for them to pick up where they left off. But she didn't feel like mulling over their daughter's future anymore, if that was what they had been worrying about in the first place. Hmm. Okay, I think that is good for today. It's almost 4. Do you have anything more to do?
No, I want to hear more. Robin comes at 5, not 4. So.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's 4 in summer.
Okay. Later in the day, she was alone on the porch, sitting in her favorite rocking chair, looking at the orangey red Northampton sunset. The sky felt no close and was so close and open uh, that you could almost touch it. Her brain had gone quiet, as if it tired of all the noise swirling inside. This month's credit card payments, Orly's bad eating habits, Evie's poor grades, Aunt Esther and her sad cakes, her dog's spirits, decaying health, Janet's marriage plans, her husband's secret flings, the absence of love in her life. One by one, she locked them all in small mental boxes. In that frame of mind, Ella took the manuscript out of its package and bounced it in her hand, as if weighing it. The title of the novel was written on the cover or in indigo ink, Sweet Blasphemy. Ella had been told that nobody knew much about the author, a certain A. Z. Zahara, who lived in Holland. His manuscript had been shipped to the literary agency from Amsterdam with a postcard inside the envelope. On the front of the postcard with a picture of tulip fields in dazzling pinks, yellows and purples, and on the back of a note, on the back a note written in delicate handwriting. Dear Sir Madam, greetings from Amsterdam. The story I herewith send you takes place in 13th century Konya in Asia Minor. But I sincerely believe that it cuts across countries, cultures, and centuries. I hope you will have the time to read Sweet Blasphemy, historical mystical novel on the remarkable bond between Rumi, the best poet and most rewarded spiritual leader in the history of Islam, and Shams of Tabriz, an unknown, unconventional dervish, full of scandals and surprises. May love be always with you, and you always are surrounded with love. AZ Sahara. Ella sensed that the postcard had piqued the literary agency's curiosity, but Steve was not a man who had time to read the work of an amateur writer. So he'd handed the package to his assistant, Michelle, who had passed it on to her new assistant. This is how Sweet Blasphemy ended up in Ella's hand. Little did she know that this was going to be not just any book, but the book that changed her life. In the time she was reading it, her life would be rewritten. Ella turned to the first page. There was a note about the writer. A Z or Z, whatever it is, Sahara. A Sahara lives in Amsterdam with his books, cats and turtles. When is not turtles? Oh, I painted a turtle. Okay.
A turtle or a tortoise?
No, a turtle. They said.
Oh, water. I put in water. Okay.
Yeah. When he is not around the world. Okay. Sweet Blasphemy is his first novel and most probably his last. He has no intention of becoming a novelist and has written this book purely out of admiration and love for the great philosopher, mystic, and poet Rumi and his beloved son. S-U-N son, not S-O-N. Shams of the. Her eyes moved down the pages to the next line, and there Ella read something that rang strangely familiar. But despite what some people say, love is not only a sweet feeling bound to come and quickly go away. Her jaw dropped as she realized this was the contradiction of the exact sentence she had spoken to her daughter in the kitchen earlier in the day. She stood still for a moment, shivering with the thought that some mysterious force in the universe, or else this writer, whoever he might be, was spying on her. Perhaps he had written this book knowing beforehand what kind of person was going to read it first. This writer had her in mind as his reader. For some reason, unbeknownst. What is this?
Unbeknownst. Yeah.
Unbeknownst to her, Ella found the idea both disturbing and exciting. In many ways, the 21st century is not that different from the 13th century. Both will be recorded in history as times of unprecedented religious clashes. At times like these, the need for love is greater than ever. A sudden wind blew in her direction, cool and strong, scattering the leaves on the porch. The beauty of the sunset drifted toward the western horizon, and the air felt dull, joyless. Because love is the very essence and purpose of life. As Rumi reminds us in his It hits everybody, including those who shun love, even those who use the word romantic as a sign of disapproval. Ella was as bowled over as if she had read there, Love hits everybody, even a middle-aged housewife in Northampton named Ella Robinstein. Her gut instinct told her to put the manuscript aside, go into the house, give Michelle a call, and tell her There was no way she could write a report on this novel. Instead, she took a deep breath, turned the page, and started to read. Sweet Blasphemy, a novel by A. C. Sahara. Sufi mystics say the secret of the Quran lies in the verse Al-Fatiha. This is not the first verse, but you will find it at the very beginning of Quran. It is not the first one to came, and but you will see that
Okay.
beginning of the Quran, every Quran. So Sufi mystic says the secret of the Quran lies in the verse Al-Fatiha, and the secret of Al-Fatiha lies in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And the quintessence of Bismillah is the letter B, and there is a dot below that letter. The dot underneath the B embodies the entire universe. The Najd starts with B, just like the chapter in this novel. Beset with religious clashes. Okay, so this is the start with the word be. Beset with religious clashes, political disputes, endless power struggle. The 13th century was a turbulent period in Anatolia. In the west, the Crusaders, on their way to Jerusalem, occupied and sacked Constantinople, leading to the partition of the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine. Yeah, okay. Byzantine Empire. In the east, highly disciplined Mongol armies swiftly expanded under the military genius of, we called him Genghis Khan, but it is like Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. In between, different Turkish tribes fought among themselves while the Byzantine tried to recover their lost land, wealth, and power. It was a time of unprecedented chaos when Christians fought Christians, Christians fought Muslims, and Muslims fought Muslims. Everywhere one turned, there was a hostility, and anguish, and an intense fear of what might happen next. In the midst of this chaos lived a distinguished Islamic scholar known as Jalaluddin Rumi, nicknamed Maulana, our master. By many, he had thousands of disciples and admirers from all over the region.
Disciples,
and was regarded as a beacon to all Muslims. And Beacon was the company name of my father, one of the companies.
Ah, Beacon. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Beacon Industries, Beacon Products, Beacon what? How did the name read?
It was the Beacon was, I guess it was Beacon International because with Beacon under that company, he was dealing with some oil companies. So it was Beacon. And the other two were different name. But one was some alliance something, but I don't remember that.
That's cool, Beena. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I was feeling so proud of it because it started with BE, with my name Beena.
Well, maybe that's how we came onto it. It's not uncommon. My parents made some company and they're very proud of themselves. They called it Firefly, which was the first letters of all of the children's names.
Okay,
but fire spelled with a Y anyway.
Okay, so but anyway, my father choice of this word was not because of me. It was just I was making that thing.
Well, you don't know. You don't know. Maybe it's influence.
Okay, so
You
anyway.
don't know, so you can't say it's not from that. So you can choose to believe that it may have subconsciously influenced him or deliberately. Either one. Right?
Okay, was regarded as a beacon to all Muslims. In 1244, Rumi met Shams, a Vedic dervish with unconventional ways and heretical proclamations. Their encounter altered both their lives. At the same time, it marked the beginning of a solid, unique friendship that Sufis in the centuries to follow likened to the union of
Wait 1 second, Beena. So Rumi and who were friends?
Shams.
Say again. It came right at the brush sound, so I could hear. Say again.
Okay. Shams.
Say again.
Shams.
Shams. Shams.
Shams. S for sugar, H for honey.
Shams. Okay. And Shams was who?
Shams was a wandering dervish.
Okay. So they become friends, and then both were involved in heretical beliefs. Heretical.
It is interesting to just listen to that because it's a very different kind of a union, and it becomes and it leads to a totally new kind of school of thought, you can say.
Okay. So is this factual or just part of this person's story? So
No, it is. It is. It is.
okay. Okay. So Rumi was at one point in time a bit of a heretic.
Hmm.
I mean, I
Yes.
don't think he's today regarded as a Islamic heretic, right?
No.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, and that's really powerful too. Um, that Rumi, who's so beloved and is such a profound influence on Islam and from that culture, was at one time a
Hmm.
heretic. So that's very encouraging because it's like, hey, somebody talks about stuff and updating. You say, hey, look at Rumi, he was a heretic at one point. So that's a good perspective shifting thing, right? For people that are but stuck
Yes.
in narrowness. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool,
Yes.
Bean. Say
This
again.
story, this whole story, uh, again, it is like alchemist
Hmm.
because the timing again, because I'm able, you can say that, because I'm able or any reader will be able to actually make some association with that. So the timings are important, and also that if you can get the idea, of course not 100%, no one can claim that, but if you can get the idea, the behind this whole story and multiple stories in this book, and then it will be really interesting because it does make connections to personal thinking and perspectives and life.
Say the last part again.
And life itself, like a life of a reader, any reader, not only me.
Which story are you talking about? Rumi story?
This 40 rules of love.
Interesting.
This,
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
you will see. I feel that uh, this will be an interesting subject to, to talk about, to have on the platform of way of impeccability.
Yeah. Keep going, Beena. Keep going. Yeah, cool, Beena.
Because this book has many layers, and it also touches some religious stuff, but because the name of the novel, Sweet Blasphemy, so you can understand that. That's what it is. What it might
Yeah.
be. Okay, so in 1244, Rumi met Shams. By the way, Shams is an Arabic word for sun.
Sun. Okay. Oh, that explains that reference earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shams is a she.
He.
Oh, is a he.
Yeah. Yeah. But you will see how things will unfold. So
Yeah.
in 44, Rumi met Shams, a wandering dervish with unconventional ways of heretical proclamations. Their encounter altered both their lives. At the same time, it marked the beginning of a solid, unique friendship that Sufis in the centuries to follow likened to the union of two oceans. By meeting this exceptional companion, Rumi was transformed from a mainstream cleric to a committed mystic, passionate poet, advocate of love, and originator of ecstatic dance of the whirling dervishes, daring to break free of all conventional rules in an age of deeply embedded bigotries. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bigotries?
Bigotries.
Okay. Bigotries and clashes. He stood for a universal spirituality, opening his door to people of all backgrounds instead of an outer-oriented jihad defined as a war against infidels and carried out by many in those days just as in the present. Rumi stood up for an inner-oriented jihad where the aim was to struggle against to ultimately prevail over one's ego, nafs. Not all people welcome these ideas. However, just not as not all people opened their hearts to love. The powerful spiritual bond between Shams and Rumi became the target of rumor, slander, and attack. They were misunderstood, envied, vilified, and ultimately betrayed by those closest to them. 3 years after they met, they were tragically separated by the story, but the story didn't end there. In truth, there was never an end. Almost 800 years later, the spirit of Shams and Rumi are still alive today, whirling amid us somewhere.
Mm.
Next chapter. The Killer. Alexandria, November 1252. Beneath dark waters in a well, he is dead now, yet his eyes follow me wherever I go, bright and imposing, like two dark stars ominously in the sky above.
Ominously, yeah. Ominously.
I came to Alexandria, hoping that if I traveled far enough, I could escape this piercing memory and stop the wail echoing inside my mind. That very last cry he gave out before his face drained of blood, his eyes bulged out, and his throat closed in an unfinished gasp. The farewell of a stabbed man, the howl of a trapped wolf. When you kill someone, something from that person possesses to you. A sigh, a smell, or a gesture. I call it the curse of the victim. It clings to your body and seeps into your skin, going all the way into your heart, and thus continues to live within you. People who see me on the street have no way of knowing this, but I carry with me the traces of all the men I have killed. I wear them around my neck like invisible necklace, feeling their presence against my flesh, tight and heavy. Uncomfortable though it feels, I have gotten used to living with this burden and have accepted it as part of my job. ever since. Cain slew Abel.
Mm.
What is
Cain, Adam's son, slew Abel, Adam's other son,
Oh, okay. Cain.
murdered him.
We had the name Habil and Qabil. Okay,
Mm.
so they have Cain and okay. Ever since Cain slew Abel, in every murderer breeds the man he murdered. That much I know. It doesn't disturb me. Not anymore. But when? But then, why was I shaken so badly after that last incident? Everything was different this time, right from the start. Take the way I found a job, for instance. Or should I say instead the way the job found me? Early in the spring 1248, I was working for a brothel, pattern, pattern, brothel pattern in Konya, a hermaphrodite. How to pronounce that? Hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite.
Wow. So who's talking here now?
A killer. Now it's a second chapter. The killer.
Oh, is this just a killer? That's not a
Yeah.
killer?
And now he's
Wow. Okay. A hermaphrodite is somebody who has both sexes.
yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
know that.
Okay.
I don't know how to
All right.
pronounce.
All right. All right. Yeah.
So everything was different this time, right from the start. Take the way I found the job, for instance, or should I say instead the way the job found me. Early in the spring of 1248, I was working for a brothel patron in Konya, a hermaphrodite famous for her anger and wrath. My task was to help her to keep the harlots under control and intimidate the customers who didn't behave. I remember the day vividly. I was hunting a harlot who had escaped the brothel to find God. She was a beautiful young woman, which sort of broke my heart because when I caught up with her, I was going to ruin her face so bad that no man would ever want to look at her again. I was this close to catching this stupid woman when I found a mysterious letter on my doorsill. I had never learned how to read, so I took it to the madrasa, where I paid a student to read it for me. It turned out to be an anonymous letter signed by a few true believers. We have heard from a reliable source where you came from and who you really were, the letter said. A former member of the assassins. We also know that after the death of Hassan Sabah and the incarceration, incarceration,
Incarceration.
incarceration. Okay.
Putting into jail. Being in jail.
Oh, okay. So we also know that after the death of Hassan Sabah and the incarceration of your leaders, the order is not what it used to be. You came to Konya to escape persecution, and you have been under disguise ever since. The letter said that my services were urgently needed on a matter of great importance. It assured me that payment would be satisfactory. If interested, I was to appear in a well-known tavern that evening after dark. Once there, I had to sit at the table closest to the window, my back to the door, my head bowed down or bowed down.
Which do you think?
Bow.
Hmm. A bow
Bowed.
is something you shoot an arrow with.
Oh, okay. So bowed down.
Yeah. Mm.
And my eyes fixed on the floor. I would soon be joined by the person or persons who would hire me. They were going to give me all the information I needed to know, neither when they arrived nor as they left, and at no point during our conversation could I raise my head and look at their faces. It was a strange letter, but then again I was used to dealing with the whims of clients. Over the years, I had been hired by all sorts of people, and most of them wished to keep their names secret. Experience had taught me that more often than not, the more strongly a client strived to hide his identity, the closer he happened to be his victim. But that was none of my business. My task was to kill, not to inquire into the reasons behind any assignment. Ever since I left Alamat, what is Alamat? I don't know, years ago, this had been the life I chose for myself. I seldom ask questions anyway. Why would I? Most folks I know have at least one person they want to get rid of. The fact that they don't do anything about it doesn't necessarily mean they are immune to the desire to kill. In fact, everyone has it in him to kill somebody, sorry, to kill someday. People don't get that until it happens to them. They think of themselves as incapable of murder, but it is just a matter of coincidence. Sometimes even a gesture is enough to inflame their tempers. A deliberate misunderstanding, a squabble over nothing, or simply being at the wrong place at the wrong time can bring out a destructive streak in people who are otherwise good and decent fellows. Anyone can kill, but not everyone
Mm.
can kill a stranger in cold blood. That is where I enter the picture. I did the dirty work of others. Even God recognized the need for someone like me in his holy scheme when he appointed Israel, the angel of death, the archangel of death, to terminate lives. In this way, human beings feared, cursed, and hated the angel, while his hands remained clean and his name unblemished. It wasn't fair to the angel, but then again, this world was not known for its justice, was it? When darkness settled, I went to the tavern. The table by the window happened to be occupied by a scar-faced man who seemed to be in deep sleep. It occurred to me to wake him up and tell him to go somewhere else. But with drunks, you never knew how they would react, and I had to be careful not to draw too much attention to myself. So I sat at the next available table, facing the window. Before long, two men arrived. They sat on either side of me so as not to show their faces. I didn't need to look at them, though, to realize how young they were and how unprepared for the step they were about to take. "You came highly recommended," said one of them, his tone not so much cautious as apprehensive. "We were told you were the best." It felt funny, the way he said it, but I suppressed my smile. I noticed they were scared of me, which was a good thing. If they were scared sufficiently, they could not dare to do me wrong. So I said, "Yes, I'm the best. That is why they call me Jacklehead. I had I have never let my clients down, no matter how hard the task." "Good," he sighed, "because this might be not an easy task." Now the others spoke. "See, there is this man who has made himself too many enemies. Ever since he came to this town, he has brought nothing but trouble. We have warned him several times, but he pays us no attention. If anything, he has become all the more contentious. He leaves us no other option."
Who are they talking about?
The person they want to be killed by this.
Mm, mm.
It was always the same. Each time the clients tried to explain themselves before we cut a deal, as if my approval could in any way lessen the gravity of what they were about to do. "I know what you mean. Tell me, who is this person?" I asked. They seemed reluctant to give me a name, offering vague description instead. "He is a heretic who has nothing to do with Islam." an unruly man full of sacrilege and blasphemy, a maverick of a dervish. As soon as I heard this last word, a creepy feeling spread over my arms. My mind raced. I had killed all sort of people, young and old, men and women. But a dervish, a man of faith, was not among them. I had my superstition, and I didn't want to draw God's wrath upon me. For despite everything, I still believed in him. I'm afraid I'm going to have to turn it down. I don't think I would. I want to kill a holy man, find someone else. With that, I stood up to leave. But one of the men grabbed my hand and beseeched, "Wait, please. Your payment will be commensurate with your effort. Whatever your fee, we are ready to double the price." "How about triple?" I asked, convinced that they wouldn't be able to raise the amount that high. But to my surprise, after a brief hesitation, they both agreed. I sat back in my seat, feeling jittery. With this money, I could finally afford piece of a bride, sorry, the price of a piece of price of a bride and get married and stop over how me, rich or not, worth for this.
Oh, sorry. My alarm turned you off, Beena. Sorry. I was wondering, how come I'm not hearing Beena anymore? Are you there, Beena, sweetheart? Beena?
Yes, yes, I
Oh,
was
okay.
here, but you were
Oh,
sleeping. So I said, okay.
no, I was listening, but I am enjoying very much. So go back just a little bit, please, Beena. I
You were
love
sleeping.
this, Beena. I do the drop, but I listen, and I do follow the story. I have a great skill in doing this, Beena. It's very helpful for me. So
Okay, anyway, so
very.
it's a good timing that because we are almost at the end of this
Okay,
prologue.
okay. So go back just a little bit for this assassin. What are they doing in the last part?
Okay, so it was always the same. Each time the clients tried to explain themselves before we cut a deal, as if my approval could in any way lessen the gravity of what they were about to do. "I know what you mean. Tell me, who is this person?" I asked.
Hmm.
They seemed reluctant to give me a name, offering a vague description instead. "He is a heretic who has nothing to do with Islam, an unruly man full of sacrilege
Hmm.
and blasphemy, a maverick of a dervish." As soon as I heard this last word, a creepy feeling spread over my arms. My mind raced. I had killed all sorts of peoples, young and old, men and women, but a dervish, a man of faith, was not among them. I had my suspicions and didn't want to draw God's wrath on me. For despite everything, I still believed in him. I'm afraid I'm going to have to turn it down. I don't think I want to kill a holy man. Find someone else. With that, I stood up to leave, but one of the men grabbed my hand and beseeched, "Wait, please. Your payment will be commensurate with your effort. Whatever your fee is, we are ready to double the price." "How about triple?" I asked, convinced that they wouldn't be able to raise the amount that high. But to my surprise, after a brief hesitation, they both agreed. I sat back in my seat, feeling jittery. With this money, I could finally afford the price of a bride and get married and stop fretting over how to make ends meet. Dervish or not, anyone who was worth killing for this amount. How could
Fretting,
I know?
fretting.
Fretting, okay. How could I know in that moment that I was making the biggest mistake of my life and would spend the rest of my days regretting it? How could I know it would be so hard to kill Darwish and that even long after he was dead, his knife-like gaze would follow me everywhere?
Mhm.
4 years have passed since I stabbed him in that courtyard and dumped his body in a well, waiting to hear the splash that never came, not a sound. It was as if rather than falling down into the water, he fell up toward the sky. I still cannot
Mm.
sleep without having nightmare, and if I look at water, any source of water, for more than a few seconds, a cold horror grips my whole body and I throw up.
Mm.
Okay, so the next chapter is part one, Earth, the things that are
Mm.
solid, absorbed, and settle. This is the description. And the chapter will be Shams. But we will not start it right now because I have to go. We will be here before
Mm.
Ryan because I have to put my headset on charge. It's
Mm.
giving me signals. The battery is getting low.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so
All right, Beena.
the book.
I enjoyed that, Beena. Okay.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's interesting that the assassin puts a little tweak on it. You know, you got Ella and then the assassin. It's like different stories. Hmm?
Yes.
Is each one a different character?
Yes.
It doesn't come back to Ella?
It will definitely. It
Oh,
is going
okay.
to
All
be
right.
great. Okay. So I'm going now, and I'll be here soon.
All right. See you soon. See you soon. Yeah. Yeah. Haha. Oh, I'm
There we
here.
go.
I'm here. I'm here. Hello, Robin. Hello.
Oh, how are you? Good morning.
Most excellent. Most excellent. Alive and well and awake and everything. Everything. It's listening to story as read by Beena. Beena was sharing story with me. So see, everything very fabulous. Very fabulous. There we go. There we go. Hello, dog. Hello, dog.
Yes, I don't know why she came and sat with me today. The other two were upstairs. So
That's nice. She looks like she's alert, looking at something. Yeah.
actually, she's very zen right now. Her eyes are half closed, so
She's just chilling.
let's hope she stays that way because this is my little one that likes to get a little rambunctious.
Yes. Mini Cujo sometimes. No, very good.
Yes.
Very cool that she's enjoying you sitting there and enjoying. Very, very good. Excellent. All right. Oh, that reminds me. Let's take care of stuff here.